uploading a career mode video on my birthday. Yes, November 21st is my birthday. Why am I doing this video? I have no idea. Welcome guys to another episode of My Team Career Mode. We're here for the Singapore Grand Prix. Welcome back to another video. Well, I don't understand why I would even be doing this. Well, because it's my birthday and I could do whatever the hell I want. So, we're here for the Singapore Grand Prix. Got a choice here whether we want to re-sign with Zaineto, which was to answer 2 interview questions, or at least 2 interview questions, but that was like literally too easy. So we're going to go for something realistic, and we're going to sign Highland, and that wants us to overtake 5 different drivers during a race. So that's not a bad upgrade to have, or not a bad sponsor to have, because I think that's literally realistic. Doing a quality control upgrade for the chassis department, which means we've reduced the failure chance by 10%. So it was in the 40s, or I thought it was in the 40s, but it will drop down 10% to like the low 30s, high 20s by the time it comes on the upgrades for the chassis department. So, and I think we had a weight reduction, weight redistribution, something in the chassis come on the car for this weekend, which was actually handy to have, which means we can throw the car into the corners a little bit more, and it makes the car a bit more stable. I feel like we're still struggling with the balance of the car. I think that's been something that we've been struggling throughout this year, or this season. So, well, a P4 result there didn't look like much, but that's because I had the AI difficulty down by a little bit, because apparently to complete the objectives here with 100 AI, it isn't easy around here. So drop them down a little bit just for practice, because there's not really that much grip early in the weekend, but when we get further into the weekend, the grip will come to us, and I think that's where the upgrades will come into effect when the deeper we get into this weekend. So getting all the discounts for more parts for the car. We're getting towards the pointy end of the season now, where the reg changes will come into effect very, very soon. Maybe somewhere like Japan, something like that. When I say regulation changes, I mean there'll be certain parts in certain developments or departments that will be affected and may not even get onto the car for Season 2. Which, early spoiler alert, we are having every single race for Season 2. That is a given. And for Season 3, we will be doing a draft, which means we won't be doing all the races, which means we will have a sort of like a sporting draft, like an NBA or an AFL draft. So I'll have all the tracks in the hats, and then I'll pick them out. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go to qualifying. So anyway then, for qualify for the Singapore Grand Prix, not quite expecting too much in this session, just get the maximum out of the car here, considering I have just upped the AI difficulty back up to the standard 100 that I've been running all season long, just coming around the last couple of corners. We're still dead last after this run, 40.3. This second run, we've already used the juice of the tyres, considering we are green. And we did find about a second or so through, I don't even know the name of that corner. Who knows? Who cares? So we're finding a bit more time in this part of the track. Well, we're not going to now because we've been in the car. We did have quite a few laps of fuel on board, because I like to have a heavy load for a couple of laps and then really lower the fuel load to the lowest we can, just so we can get another flying lap in. So I was just looking at where we were gaining all the time, so now I know where we gain and lose the time. So I think we can go out on another set of soft compound tyres with just under 3 minutes to go, and we're going to see if we can get ourselves anywhere near Q2, which is what I want to know. So into the second sector now, nice rotation through here. This part of the circuit can really catch you out if you don't get it right. And following another car doesn't help your run either. So you really want to have a nice run in clear air. So we're up by nearly 5 tenths. We're up by a second now, but we go under that as we went in a little bit deep. That run there was a little bit better. That part there is actually tighter there than you might think, so you really have to get that right. Up to the line now, it is a 2.6 second improvement. Not a bad time. And where does this put us? P19. That's reasonable, I guess. We're in front of both houses, which is good, and we are just around about 4 tenths away from George Russell, so that's not too bad. I'll take P19. So yeah, I think we really got the maximum out of the car. I don't think there was anything else that we could have done to really maximize the lap. I think that was the best we could have done. So heading into the race, let's see what we can do here.
Against the spectacular backdrop of the Singapore skyline, Formula One returns once again to do battle in what tends to become something of an endurance race, with the notorious sauna-like temperatures in the cockpit making for an extremely physically challenging Grand Prix. We're here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit today, located in the heart of Singapore. The circuit consists of 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right. It's a track that's incredibly technical, so don't expect to see the drivers taking too much at full throttle. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat, Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Perez, Gasly, Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel, Tsunoda, Ocon, Kimi Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, Stroll, Russell, Nicholas Latifi and Max Verstappen. They've taken a grid penalty. Skip, Schwartzman, Mazepin and Mick Schumacher.
Well, Max taking a grid penalty. That is very interesting to see. Well, let's hope he doesn't interrupt too much of this race. Well, I don't think he should anyway, because he isn't in the Red Bull, of course. Looking through the strategy, we are going to go into mediums and hards. It's just much easier to do a one-stop. Maybe get ourselves into a top 15 position, maybe. So we'll see how this goes as we get ready. 5 red lights ahead of the Singapore Grand Prix, and we are underway. Not a bad start off the line, but look at Max. He's on the soft compound side. He will blitz away from us, but we will gain a little bit of time because we can break a little bit later. We're going to get a flowing run around the outside for turn 3. As we flow around nicely, we've already hit the wall, which is going to be affected quite a few times, you would think. So we get up the inside of Nick Latifi. He gives us a little bit of space, but we're going to try and use our overtake button and try and stay with him. So we're going to try and go around the outside, and Latifi comes up into us, and he has literally destroyed our wing. So we get the notification already from Jeff. We're going to go up the inside of Robert, who's on hard compound tyres. So interesting, he's starting the race on hard tyres. So maybe he's trying to finish strong, maybe, if that's the plan, if I had to guess. So we're going to dive in at the end of this lap, maybe put hards on, and no, we're not. We're going to do a cheeky corner cut, which doesn't work out, and Mick gets up the inside. So I wanted to stay out the extra laps just to see, how the car would turn with a damaged front wing or with a slightly yellow front wing. I was hoping it wasn't going to be too bad, but apparently it was bad. So we come into the pits now. We're going to go on to hard compound tyres. We will take those to the last 15 or so laps, and that is where we will go.
Only one stop to go, one stop left in this strategy.
And that will be on the medium tyre. So I think we'll take these to about, what would you say, lap 19, 20, something like that. So we can try and push as much as we can on the hard compound tyre. So this means this is going to be a very lonely race. So as the title suggests, our lonely race begins right here. So we get our first proper flying lap in, coming around the last couple of corners. Use a little bit of that curve, which I probably could have done in Q1. It is a 43 flat, so those times will get faster as the race wears on. Some of the lead cars now come in, including Saints, Gasly and Danny Rick, who are pitting for mediums. Danny gets a little bit held up there by I think that's Fernando, who's coming in for mediums. So if these guys are coming in for mediums, so that confirms that they're doing a two-stop, which could almost mean that we could come in. They could come into play with us if we get a lucky safety car. Robert, he's already stationed very well at the moment on hard compound tyres. I'm actually surprised he was able to stay in front of both halves, just comparing or considering that both of them are on the mediums and Robert is on the hards. So he's doing a good job just holding them at bay. Mick Schumacher is now out of the race, so that's one less hards that Robert has to deal with. We skip forward a fair chunk of the race because, well, as you'd expect, nothing happens. But we were chipping away quite a bit of time to Mazepin. So we get to lap 13 there, who makes his first stop and possibly only stop. No, he's on to mediums again, so that confirms he's doing a two-stop. He'll take those to about lap 26, 25 maybe, and maybe bolt on the softs, maybe go for a fastest lap. So now the following lap, he's right up our inside, and he gives us a nice squeeze. And I don't like that. I'm diving back up the inside. We stay literally just within the track limits, and we can march on with our race. So now we've got we have both Williams in front of us. Now we're on lap 17. We're coming in a little bit earlier than what I thought. So we're going to go into mediums. We're going to take those to the end of the race, and we're just going to see how much more time we can take away from Robert by the time he makes his stop. We went purple to the first sector. This was actually my first proper flying lap of the race. We come across the line. Are we into the 39s? No, it's a 40.2. So Robert has already made his stop now. So with 11 laps to go, 23 seconds we have to make up. So 22 laps into the race already, and we've been in this race for about 5 minutes. So amazing. So that just shows that's how lonely of a race that we have been. That was very, very close with the wall. That is literally the closest we've ever been to possibly crashing out the car on our own. So we're going back here. I'm just going to show you. Just look at how close that is. That is what you call by the skin of your teeth. I mean, there's literally nothing in that. I don't think you could have done that any better. I seriously think that if I could have a million goes at that, I reckon I wouldn't have nailed it any better than that, as well as a nice cheeky corner cut to go with that. And of course with the corner cutting you can see on regular, because because I'm not the best at keeping it on the car in bounds of the limits. If I just had track limits on strict, I would be disqualified every single race. So yeah, well, that just shows that I'm not perfect. It's okay if you're not perfect at the game. There's nothing wrong if you're not perfect. Valtteri Bottas gets around Charles Leclerc relatively easy, considering the Merc is on mediums and Charles is on hards. This is Robert we are catching up to. He's being lapped by, I think that's Valtteri. So that was on lap 26, something like that. So Valtteri was still a few laps away from us. Oh no, it was Hamilton that lapped him. So now this is Valtteri, who is lapping us. It's the final lap of our race now, because Hamilton has overtaken my teammate, who crosses the line and wins the Singapore Grand Prix. So that confirms that this has literally been the quickest episode or the shortest episode I think we've ever had, because who would want to listen to a boring race where literally nothing happened?
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Seriously. I mean, yeah, literally the most boring race of my life, I reckon. About an hour of racing, and all I get is P19.
It's never easy to make it across the finish line here in Singapore, but they've done so with some style here today to take a remarkable victory. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Well, I'm telling you guys, this is literally the turning point of this season. Mercedes coming back hard at Max Verstappen, and I think Lewis is the closest out of he and Valtteri to Max. We'll have a look at the standings in just a second, but yeah, things are getting a little bit tight at the top now. Max not even scoring points, P12. So that is literally a massive difference. So 35 points between Max and Lewis, and 73 points to Valtteri Bottas. And now the gap is getting tight at the top of the Constructors' Championship too, 32 points. For us, Alpine move up to 6 over Aston Martin. Yeah, and us, we're down to P11 now in the drivers. So I reckon that nearly confirms that a top 10 in the championship is pretty much out the window. So yeah, that's pretty much guaranteed. Well, you've seen the most boring race on this channel. I don't think we're going to have a race probably as boring as that. Well, maybe in the next episode. Suzuka, never that good in Suzuka. A bit of a bogey track for me, really. Like, I'm never that good around there, and because of the curbs on F1 2021 are so deadly, especially through the first sector, they're going to be, you literally just do not want to touch them. You're really going to have to really maximize how you get around those curves. Like, you literally need to get around them to perfection. But that's in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it was so boring. Subscribe to the channel if you need to see plenty more F1 and racing game content. Well, I hope you guys enjoy your day today. I know I certainly will for my 19th. I'll have quite a few drinks, and well, I may see you after my hangover. But no, I actually have work the following day, so I'll probably just have a few quiet drinks. I am going out with the family, so just a couple of quiet drinks before I have to go to work. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to see plenty more F1 and racing game content. Until the next one though, I'll see you after my hangover. That's if I ever come back from my hangover.